Hey everyone, welcome back to Workshop and Home. Today is day 2 of the fireplace remodel project, and I'm going to be fitting the mantle and doing the final painting. So before we can get this framing up for the shiplap, I got to get the mantle in place because the framing is actually going to sit on top of it. And we need to glue these strips down to the brick so that I have something to mount the mantle to. Well, that's enough talking about it. Let's get started. So the way I'm going to place a mantle on top of this brick is I'm going to shim it up here, and I'm actually going to glue these strips with some liquid nails to the fireplace itself, and then I'll put the mantle on top of that and nail into those. And the mantle is also going to get some crown molding around the edge that kind of goes down the brick here. And then we'll frame in this hole first, and then I'm going to put some 2x4s on the flat here so that we have a nice spot to mount our shiplap. I put a little extra epoxy in the middle here because I know there's a sag in this brick. I don't think we're going to have to shim the mantle, but it should work out okay. Alright, we'll wait for that to dry and then set the mantle. So I placed this mantle on top of there. Liquid nails still isn't totally dry, but that's okay. I took this crown molding that we're going to put here, and I scribed a line along the bottom and the sides so I can actually assemble this crown in the shop. Now, if you notice, the top of this has a weird color to it. This is poplar, and you may or may not be able to see that, but I actually used Bondo to fill in the low spots on here, and that worked out pretty good. So now I'm going to take this piece back out to the shop, attach the crown molding, and come back and test fit it. Okay, everything's dried up. I got my crown molding all glued up, all the miters glued. I didn't show that because that's just a whole other topic that I didn't want to get into because it's quite difficult to cut those. For the corners I used some CA glue, and that works really well to hold these. Now I'm going to nail this to the bottom and then get it ready for paint. So we got that up on the mantle now. Now it's time to get it ready for paint. So I'm out here in my shop now and I got this prepared for paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a coat of primer on it. So while I'm waiting for the mantle to dry, I got some other painting to do, including the shiplap, which is pre-painted. But I'm gonna use this liquid deglosser on it, and that should make it ready for paint. I probably will put a coat of primer on this, a light coat anyway. I've got exactly 10 of these to do. And I've got some crown molding and some other moldings. Well, it's the next day and all this primer is dried. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the paint color on. We've got this Benjamin Moore paint. It's called Van Dusen Blue. And I'll show it to you here. So this is what the color is here. I'm going to use this thing. I've had this thing for years. I believe it was called a Paint Mate. This thing is a game changer. It'll mix the paint for you, and it also has this spout that you can pour the paint. It makes painting a lot more enjoyable when you don't have to clean the side of the can or, you know, just general cleanup. You can leave this on for quite a long time without the paint drying up. And this one's well used, but I'll put a link down in the description below so you can check it out. This is what I really like about this thing. Not a drop. Perfect. That's it for this video. I got a first coat of paint on everything. I just got to go back and put a second coat on. And in the next video, we're going to put everything together. So until then, we'll see you next time.